Hi guys. So today we are going to do our playoff predictions for the 2023-24 NFL season. This is before the season even starts. So here's how the divisions are playing out. We're going to start out with the NFC South. The Panthers win the division with a 9-6-1 record. The Saints finish in second at 5-12. The Bucks finished in third at 4-12-1, and the Falcons finished last at 4-13. Okay, next we're going to do the NFC East. I have the Giants winning the division at 10-4, which is supposed to be 10-7. I have the Cowboys are in second at 10-7. Eagles are in third at 8-8, and Commanders are at 5-11. Now the NFC North, I did have some good predictions here. 14-2. You know what? Let's just get to the playoff predictions and get to the wild card round. So the AFC wild card round, we got Jets and the 5 seed Jets taking on the 4 seed Kansas City Chiefs. Now that first matchup, I do think will be a toss-up because two good quarterbacks, Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes, the rookie. Mahomes is still a rookie compared to Rodgers. So for that reason, I do have Mahomes beating out Rodgers and the Jets. Next is the 6 seed Dolphins taking on the 3 seed Bengals. You know, Joe Burrow, I really think Joe Burrow is going to do really well this season. I do think he might get MVP, which then again I will talk about before we get to the Super Bowl. So I'm going to get the Bengals the win over the Dolphins. Next, we are going to do, finally, last but certainly not least in the AFC, we got the 7 seed Jaguars taking on the 2 seed Titans. Now, I think it's a very big thing for me. Derrick Henry is a beast, and so is DeAndre Hopkins. And I do think they have one of the more underrated defenses in the league, led by superstar defensive end Jeffrey Simmons, who I think will get a major payday after the season. So for that reason, those reasons alone, I do think the Titans will win against the Jaguars. Now over to the NFC, we got the 5 seed Green Bay Packers taking on the 4 seed Carolina Panthers. Can Bryce Young win his first playoff game as a rookie? I mean, 2 young quarterbacks. We got Bryce Young for the Panthers and Jordan Love for the Packers. I do think this could be a very close matchup, and I do have a lot of very interesting. There are interesting storylines to look out for. Can Jordan Love beat out a rookie quarterback in the playoffs? And that answer is yes, because I have the Packers moving on. Next, it's the 6 seed Chicago Bears taking on 3 seed New York Giants. Now, I think the Giants will shock people and win this division, win the NFC East with a record of 10-7. They're making the playoffs. Even with the rough schedule they have, like they're playing the Bills, I think that could be a game where I do think Brian Daboll and that front office can. I think this offseason for them was really not good. And then the Bears, I do think they're going to be a playoff team in the first year of the DJ Moore era with Justin Fields. And here's a bold take. DJ Moore leads the league in receiving yards and receiving touchdowns. So anyway, I have the Bears coming into MetLife to upset. They're kind of pulling a 2022 New York Giants. So anyway, I have the Bears beating the Giants. And finally, it's the Dallas Cowboys taking on the Detroit Lions. Lions win. I don't need to say anything else. the Cowboys just don't win in the wild card, which sets us up for a juicy divisional round, which we have a very good one. I think everyone remembers Bengals Titans in the 2021 divisional round, which is a matchup we're getting in the 2023 divisional round again. So it's Bengals Titans. I think Jeffrey Simmons could come out and disrupt Joe Burrow in that passing game. And I do think that the Titans fans are still upset after that loss, heartbreaking loss in the playoffs to the Bengals 2 years ago. I do believe that the Titans will pull off the upset against the Bengals, who could be heavily favored in that matchup. Next, we got, finally in the AFC divisional round, we got the number 1 seed Buffalo Bills. I'm wearing Stephon Diggs' jersey right now, so don't call me biased because I already know I'm biased because I'm a Bills fan. I know. Taking on Patrick Mahomes and the number 4 seed Kansas City Chiefs. Now, I do think that the Chiefs do have a high-powered offense with Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes. And as long as Mahomes, Travis Kelce, and head coach Andy Reid are there, they're going to be unstoppable. But the Bills have the defense where they can actually stop the Chiefs. We've beat them in the regular season, but we haven't been able to beat them in the playoffs. I know Mahomes is slightly better than Josh Allen, but I do have Josh and the Bills moving on to the AFC title game for the first time, for the second time in 4 years. Next, for the NFC, we have two storied divisional rivals. The 5 seed Green Bay Packers taking on the 2 seed Detroit Lions. Now, I do think the Lions are a team that could be overhyped this season, but I do think there's a lot of predictions that I can do with this team, which I'm going to get into my NFL award predictions right after the playoff predictions are over with. So the Packers, don't be shocked if they won this division because they have their division's best defense, and I do think with shutdown corner Jair Alexander, plus Christian Watson looked really good as a rookie. I do think that Packers offense plus their defense can actually equal a big win over the Lions. Plus, I do like A.J. Dillon, who's a Packer, so yeah, I kind of think that the Packers and they have a strong running game, not just with A.J. Dillon, but they have Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon are the best running back duo in the league. Now, hear me out. They're both going to go for over 1,000 yards. I think A.J. Dillon might get more touches this season, though, because Aaron Jones might take a step backward because he's heading toward the age 30, where the running backs are set to be past their prime. So I do have the Packers winning that matchup against the Lions. And then we have the Chicago Bears taking on the number 1 seed San Francisco 49ers. Now, I do think the Niners have the better defense alone, and they have so many weapons on offense, plus the Bears' defense is kind of terrible, but they brought in some good help for that linebacker corps with former Bills Tremaine Edmonds. I do think that the 49ers have the advantage here because they actually know what they're doing and being really competent with it. So that moves into the conference championships. So it's a new era in Green Bay. We'll start with the NFC title game. It's new era at Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. I do think that the Packers could potentially shock some people and not just win this division, but also make it to the conference championship. But the 49ers just have the better defense and the better offense. But Matt LaFleur and Kyle Shanahan have been in the league for the same amount of time. Even though Shanahan has been the head coach for the 49ers a little bit longer than Matt LaFleur has for the Packers, I do think the Packers could pull off the upset Plus, it's not Aaron Rodgers. They have Jordan Love now, so I am expecting some good things from Jordan Love. So I am going to go ahead and predict the upset of the Green Bay Packers. Now that leaves for a juicy AFC title game matchup. The 2-seed Tennessee Titans versus the 1-seed Buffalo Bills. Well, this matchup is kind of interesting because can the Titans defense stop the high-powered Bills offense with Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, Gabe Davis, Dawson Knox, Dalton Kincaid? And I do think Dalton Kincaid might have a really good year this year. I just hope that this could really help. Now we're going to go ahead and pick that winner. Before I do, I think that I also know Derrick Henry is a really strong running back, so he could cause problems for our Bills for the Bills running defense, but they have one of the best defenses in the league, plus they have one of the best edge rushers in the league in Von Miller. Even though he's going to miss the first 4 games of the regular season, that doesn't matter because hopefully he'll be here healthy for the playoffs. So I'm going to go ahead and pick the Bills to win the AFC. Which comes to my dream Super Bowl matchup. The Green Bay Packers taking on the Buffalo Bills. Now I thought this was going to happen last season, but obviously I was wrong. It was the Chiefs and Eagles with the Chiefs winning it all. I had the Bills and Packers with the Bills winning it all. So I was wrong last season. Now I have my Stephon Diggs jersey on. So I'm going to go ahead and predict the Bills have the better offense and the better team on paper, but you never know what's going to happen. But I'm going to go ahead and predict the Buffalo Bills as the Super Bowl champions. So now we're going to talk awards. Now we're going to talk NFL awards. So Offensive Rookie of the Year. That's a very tough category because there's so many good rookies that are making their NFL debuts this year. Obviously, that's why they're called rookies. But I'm going to go ahead and call me biased all you want. I'm not going with Dalton Kincaid. I'm in fact going with the Panthers' Bryce Young. And I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. If the Panthers win the NFC South and Bryce Young wins Offensive Rookie of the Year, I'm gonna wear a Bryce Young jersey in my videos for 3 days straight. But I don't want to. But I do, and I want to do that. But I can't respect. And they're not in the AFC; they're in the NFC. So I honestly don't mind it. So here's how I see the season playing out for Bryce Young. He gets 4,500 yards. 25 touchdowns to only 1 interception. That's the stat line. Plus he adds 700 rushing yards on the ground with 6 rushing touchdowns. And that's how I see Bryce Young's thing going. Now, we're going to go Defensive Rookie of the Year. Isn't this one rather obvious? And I love this pick. I love this pick that I'm about to make. Boys, because I'm going to go with Jalen Carter of the Philadelphia Eagles. He's going to finish the season with 75 total tackles, 60 solo tackles, and 10 assistant tackles, 25.5 sacks, and 10 interceptions plus 5 pick six plus 5 interceptions returned for touchdowns. Now we're gonna go to the Players of the Year. Now we're gonna go to Defensive Player of the Year. And look, I know that I'm gonna sound boring, but I'm gonna bring, of course, Nick Bosa as the Defensive Player of the Year. And hear me out. I think he's going to lead the league in sacks again with 34 sacks. With 65 total tackles, 60 solo tackles plus 5 assists, and 3 interceptions, and 2 of them being returned for a pick 6. Now, Offensive Player of the Year, I'm going to go with not the Bills number 14, but the Lions number 14, Amon-Ra St. Brown. And I expect him to reach new heights, which is kind of nice. So here's how I see Amon-Ra St. Brown doing. He's going to get 35 catches, 35 receptions for 1,600 yards and 15 touchdowns. Now your MVP is going to be right after this for the Coach of the Year. We're doing Coach of the Year next. I do think that the Coach of the Year is going to be Dan Campbell of the Detroit Lions. I think the Lions are going to win the NFC North. I actually do. So I wouldn't be shocked if Dan Campbell won Coach of the Year. And they're winning a playoff game this year too. So, yeah. And now my NFL MVP. So I do think that Josh Allen will win MVP this year. But here's how the season plays out. Josh throws for 5,500 yards, 45 touchdowns to 10 interceptions, with a 75% completion percentage. So those are my NFL award predictions plus my playoff predictions. And of course, let me know what you guys think down in the comments below, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.